Hi everyone, welcome. Thanks for joining. Just to let you know, we're going to give it another 30 seconds to let everyone else join, and then we're going to make a start. So please bear with us. Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our webinar about flexible connectivity options, which is designed very much as an advisory session to help businesses in the construction sector, but also very useful for developers, landlords, and letting agencies, and you'll see why as we go through the slides. So first of all, I just want to say thank you for taking the time out to join us today. We do appreciate you're all very busy. It is a relatively short webinar because we've made it very concise, though we do expect you to glean some very relative information that you can use to make an informed decision going forward. So before we dive in, I'd like to make some quick introductions. So we are Orbital Net. We're a national internet service provider and we're based in Kent, where we first started 25 years ago. We're actually the fastest growing internet and telecoms provider in the UK, and we've achieved that level of growth largely by giving our customers a very high standard of care, no matter the size of the company. And we tend to take much more of a consultative approach rather than to push people into a solution and then just forget about them. So before we move on, some personal introductions. My name's Chris. I'm a national client partner. It's my responsibility to work with businesses to make sure that they're getting the correct and best possible solution for their operation, often acting as more of an advisor. And I've been doing this for construction and development companies for a number of years now. I'm joined today by fellow expert James Tonkin, who is our head of engineering. He'll also be speaking today on some of the more technical slides, and then of course we'll both be available to answer any questions that you have at the end. So today's webinar is all about giving you flexible options for your internet requirements. So we'll run through all of the options available, how they work. We'll then talk about the need for having a backup connection. Then we're going to talk about how we deliver fibre to the estates and a bit more about us at the end. And then I want to actually show you how you can make money from solutions with us. So in terms of the options, most people only really know of the fixed line services. Historically, we all had ADSL, which is a copper wire from the exchange building to a green cabinet in your estate, and then from that green cabinet, another copper wire to your premises. So it's copper and copper, so it's very slow. As there became a need for faster speeds, Openreach upgraded the lines from the exchange building to the green cabinet with fibre optic cables, but they left the copper lines from the cabinet to the premises in place. So this was called FTTC, or fibre to the cabinet. It's actually now called SAGEA, which is single order generic Ethernet access, which basically means the phone line part has been decommissioned and is just used for internet. That is because BT recently announced that standard landlines would be decommissioned and all phone lines would move to a digitized service. So that means your phones would plug into the internet rather than the copper line. Because of this, there was an even bigger demand for better internet. So Openreach started rolling out full fibre FTTP, which stands for fibre to the premises. So this is where Openreach have replaced all of the copper with fibre optic cables, meaning it's fibre optics from the exchange all the way to the premises, making it much faster as there's no loss in speed from the transfer to copper. Although these cables are a shared network to the premises that connect to the cabinet, which means other businesses and homes will be contending for the service, so people do tend to experience slower speeds at peak times. So this contention can actually be avoided by having something called a fibre lease line, and that's your own private fibre optic line between the premises and your exchange. And that bypasses the shared fibre optic network that everyone else is using. It means you get guaranteed high speeds no matter what the time is. So you've got the digital switch off there. I did mention the phones going digital, whereas I understand the sector does not have a great need for landlines. We can actually help if you need it. And what I mean by that is we can provide VoIP phones, lines, and a soft phone app if you need it. So please do reach out if you do need that. Now, although these fixed lines are great options for permanent connectivity, for more shorter term construction projects, it might not be feasible to invest in permanent infrastructure like that due to cost and time restraints. So these days there are more portable options such as WiMAX, 5G and Orbsat, and I'm going to talk you through that now. So we have various repeater sites strategically located across the country, giving businesses good coverage, providing there is a clear line of sight between the repeater site and the premises. This is how the WireMax works. It's our own solution, and we've been building out the network since 1998 with our VFast residential arm. So obviously it works by line of sight technology, but it can also be used for site-to-site license links, which can offer speeds of up to 10 gigs. So it's very, very fast. So that's WireMax. We've obviously all heard of 5G, though the way we differ is we use an externally mounted aerial, which is then connected to an internal wireless router, thus granting much better performance than, say, your mobile phone does. It can offer backward links with 4G and 3G networks, enabling future-proof solution, even if the 5G is not available. So we offer options both for internal and external deployment, depending on the business need, and it's a fully managed service that is remotely managed with the ability to use static public IP addresses. That's 5G, and OrbSat is the satellite-based option. It uses low Earth orbit satellites to deliver high speeds of internet all over the world. Now, OrbSat's internet speeds can reach up to 400 megabits per second, whereas other satellite providers may only offer up to 100 megabits per second. So it's actually 4 times faster using this option. And to explain why it's so much faster, most satellite internet services come from single geostationary satellites that orbit the entire distance of the planet. And that causes a delay between the user and the satellite because of its lengthy round trip. And OrbSat is different. So as an example, if a geosat does 1 round trip of the Earth, an OrbSat can do 70 round trips in the same amount of time. So it's a lot better. Again, for this option, Orbital provide a fully managed supported service across a third-party network back to the Orbital core. So we obviously use satellite technology as an access medium to give you the speeds of a satellite connection, but with the benefits of being fully supported by Orbital. So just to reiterate, these 3 services are what we consider portable solutions. Now, due to the nature of construction and shorter term on-site operations, something that has the potential to be portable can offer the solution that fits your needs. Additionally, we can also look at short-term contracts where required on a case-by-case basis. So I'm now going to hand over to James, who's going to talk about backup options for you.
Thanks, Chris. A great insight there. So moving on, do you need a backup connection? As an ISP, we can't emphasize enough how important it is to have backup connectivity. We offer an auto failover solution, which means if there is any interruption on your primary connection, it auto defaults to the secondary until the fix is made. You might wonder, if the primary is so good, why do you need a backup? Strange things can happen in the connectivity world. For example, in December 2020, a fire broke out at an underground tunnel near Kingsway in Holborn. The fire caused extensive damage to the fibre optic cables and the network equipment housed within the tunnel. The fire led to widespread internet outages affecting both residential and business users. The disruption impacted various services including broadband, mobile networks and other communication services provided by several ISPs. Following the incident, ISPs and network providers likely reviewed their infrastructure resilience and emergency response protocols to mitigate the risk of similar occurrences in the future. This is an example of how unforeseen circumstances can affect anyone. This particular incident affected all the big providers like BT, Virgin, Sky and Hyperoptic, making it all the more important to have a backup connection and to place value on the resiliency of your service. Some of our services come with a backup option as standard, and we always set them up as an auto failover, so as soon as an interruption occurs, the connection defaults to your backup, causing little to no impacts for users. Right, moving on, delivering fibre to new developments. Commonly, developers at this stage will approach Openreach for their fixed line connectivity into the new developments. Openreach will deliver a leased line to a central location, and these days will most likely install FTTP into each property. While there is no strict legal requirements regarding commercial developments, many local planning authorities encourage or require new developments to be equipped with what they call super fast broadband. Generally, super fast is considered at least 30 megabits, but these days there is no reason not to deliver gigabit capable speeds to any new development very cost effectively. This will also offer a better sale price for the final units. This is not the case for residential developments, which is required to deliver gigabit capable speeds to the end users. But Openreach is not your only option. OrbitalNet follows similar processes to Openreach. The difference we offer is a partnership with our customers. We offer more support, more advice, and a potential revenue stream. As a smaller business that operates on a national scale, we are able to be more proactive, offer dedicated points of contact, and offer the end users 5-star technical support. We have grown as an independent ISP and now can deliver our own FTTP across our own network and by our own UK-based engineers. I have spent the last 3 years building our fibre team, now including planners, project managers and in-house engineers. We can take ownership of the entirety of the project, end to end. For instance, in 2020, we delivered full fibre to new commercial development in Manston, Kent, working with our partner, the Gilchrist Group, on their multiple phases of commercial units. So, just to give you an insight how this was delivered, we understood from the offset the requirements that the Gilchrist Group wanted to deliver to their business units, and that was super fast internet at affordable prices. I delivered this by firstly planning this in-house using active, passive and GPON technology, and then working with the Gilchrist Civils team to make sure all the engineering principles were met during the installation process of the ducting and the chambers. During the design process, I ensured we designed the network for delivering 1 gig connectivity and up to 10 gig in the future when required. After this was completed, we delivered the physical fibre utilising our own FTTP engineers, installing the full end-to-end, including the customer connection. One thing I always consider is connectivity needs of the client. Thank you, Chris. Over to you.
Thanks very much, James. So since we got started in 1998, we really have become experts in our field. We've worked with many construction companies over the years, all with varying needs, but this has helped us to understand how to deliver to this sector. A few of our valued customers who are happy to share how we've helped them are Quinn Estates, DDS Group, and of course Gilchrist, who James has just spoken about. We've also worked with property developers, including David Wilson and Barratt Homes. For them, we've supported them with portable connectivity and also for their show homes, and this has allowed their sales team to show off Wi-Fi enabled devices. So I wanted to finish off by showing how we can actually make money by partnering with us. For every connection that signs up with Orbital, we can offer you a percentage of the profits from their first contract term. This is valid for both commercial and residential connections. We want to reward our customers, our partners, for choosing to work with us. And we're very much a customer-centric business, and we operate on a relationship-based model where we can understand and anticipate the needs of our customers. So basically, OrbitalNet can offer you the ease of working with one provider from construction through to development and delivery to the end users. So we can take the hassle away so you can concentrate on delivering your project. So thanks for taking the time to listen. I want to open the floor now to any questions that you might have, so do feel free to come off mute and ask questions or pop them in the Q&A box and we'll be happy to answer those.
Just waiting for a few more questions to come through there, Chris. Going back to the portal solutions you mentioned, which would work best for us as we don't need much speed there. There's only 4 to 5 of us who connect to the internet, but we do require a stable connection and the use of phones on site because we use VoIP phones. I think that's a question for you there, Chris.
Yeah, thanks, James. Happy to take that. So I mentioned earlier, we take a more consultative approach. So basically, we'll meet with you and review the operation and the needs. Then we'll survey the area with one of James's engineering team. While we're doing that, we'll check the coverage to find the best performing solution. And we can do that for the wired and wireless because we have access to all of the systems. And then we give you the best thing based on all of this. And like we say, portable and short-term options are absolutely available. Any more questions?
Hi, apologies. I joined a little bit late and I'm not sure if you might have covered this. So I work for a company that has multiple projects on at the same time across the UK and into Scotland. Did you say that you had a national reach?
Yeah. I'm happy to take that. Yeah, so yeah, we absolutely have a national reach, and that is for all of the solutions we mentioned there. So yeah, we'll be happy to pick that up offline with you if you want. So do leave us your details, and we'll reach out to you separately and talk about those if you like.
Perfect. And can I get the recording? Because I obviously missed the start, if that's possible.
Absolutely no problem at all.
Oh, that's magic. Thank you so much.
So one more's just come in there, Chris. So going back to 1 second. Sorry about that. So at what point should we be engaging with you regarding the fibre into the final development? Well, that's a question for me. So from the start of it, to be honest with you, from the planning process, working alongside the utilities, we need to be there from the very beginning, making sure we deliver a cost-effective solution and what works for the end customer as well. Any more questions at all?
Okay, so there's no more questions. I'd like to wrap it up. So thanks for taking the time to be here. Please do find our contact details here and feel free to reach out individually and we'll be happy to help. If you can think of any other questions, do please pop that in an email or give us a call and we'll help you with that. So thanks very much, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks for your time, everybody.
Oh, sorry, the person that raised the question earlier, I'll follow up with you individually after the call. Thank you for posing that.